All right, tax bosses, I am so excited to invite you to participate in this year's end of summer 10K challenge. Are you ready to get started? Come on in. Okay, so what is the challenge all about? Now, the IRS estimates that 19 million taxpayers have asked for an extension to file their income tax. That's right. There's at least 19 million people who did not complete their tax returns by April 15th. And this is a big opportunity for you. Now, all of these taxpayers are now responsible for getting their taxes done by October 15th. So now is the time for you to join the challenge and to make sure that you're getting a piece of this 19 million person pie. Now, remember, taxpayers who request an extension, they generally have more complex finances. So these aren't typically your EIC clients, but those maybe who are itemizing or who have real estate. Maybe waiting for their K1 for a partnership tax return. Well, this presents a wonderful opportunity for you. Now, the National Society of Accountants, they collect data and they tell us what is the average tax preparation across the United States. 220 for a return that's simple, that doesn't itemize. $323 for an itemized tax return, and in the ballpark of $900 for an S Corp. Now, I know many of you have average prep fees that far exceed these numbers. So I want you to think about, could you use an extra $10,000 over the course of the next 60 days? Well, if you're looking to jumpstart your tax practice for the next tax season, if you are looking to supplement getting ready for back to school funds, if you have sat around all summer and you are just energized, ready to put some money back in your pocket, then this challenge is for you. So I want you to think about, if you put together a plan and got energized and could bring on an additional 10 clients at an average of $375 prep fee to your tax practice, could you use an extra $3,700? What about 20? If you brought on an additional 20 persons to your tax practice at $375 each, what could you do with an extra $7,500? And now I know we have some rock star tax bosses. So if you could bring 30 or 50 new clients, right, you would surpass our 10K challenge and be able to put extra money in your pocket. What would that do for your tax practice? What would that do for your family? Well, I'm inviting you to join the 10K challenge and jumpstart your tax season, put an extra $10,000 in your pocket. And I'm going to be talking in this workshop about how to do just that. Okay. So we're looking at 2 weeks to get ready. We're kicking off on August 15th, and we're going to be doing the work from August 15th to October 15th. So we have a 60 days strategy that we're going to be putting into place. And we're going to be laying down that foundation today. Alrighty, so let's jump into the fast action strategy. Now, one of the first things that I want to encourage you to do is to reignite your social media presence. Now, maybe you've taken a break since April. You've gone on a couple vacations. You went to a few conferences. You just tuck away and took a little bit of a break. Well, now is the time to take a look at your thumbnails, take a look at your banner. Do you have a business page on Facebook? Clean that up a little bit, right? So that when someone refers you a client, they will know, like, and they will trust you because this will be their first introduction to you. Okay, now in this fast action strategy, our number one focus is going to be setting appointments. Setting appointments. We're going to be looking at those extensions that you may have done yourself in April. You want to consider those people who were no shows that maybe you didn't get to close during the regular tax season. And you're going to be using targeted messaging and language where you're going to call out those prospects that still need to get their taxes done. And you're going to be a solution for them. So during the 2 week period, one of the things you want to make sure is that you have a way for them to schedule an appointment with you, that you're able to get them on your calendar so that you can do that introduction meeting, understand their tax situation, and then be about the business of getting the work done. Okay. So get your social media presence together. Again, we're looking for professionalism, not perfection, but professionalism so that they will trust you. You want to make sure that you have a tool that you can set appointments and your clients can be reminded to show up. And then if you have a budget or some funds set aside, I would encourage you to also consider Facebook or Instagram ads, wherever your presence is. Maybe that's TikTok, maybe that's YouTube, but you do have the ability to go further faster by incorporating ads. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And you want to follow up. So there were some clients that came to you during tax season and they didn't follow through. You want to follow up with them. There were some extensions that you completed and you have not heard from them since they were knocking down your door on April 14th. Follow up with them. You have family and friends. You want to follow up with them and you want to make sure that you are capitalizing and taking advantage of all of that low hanging fruit. Remember, we're doing multiples of 375. And for many of you, you're doing multiples of $500 per person preparation fees. And so everybody counts. We're going to shake those trees. And so you may say, Paula, what am I posting? Well, you're going to be posting about the upcoming deadline, right? October 15th for the extensions. You're going to be reminding them about the deadline. You're going to be offering value, giving them tips, explaining what type of documents do they need to be getting together. You want to help them to be ready to work for you so that they don't show up with that brown box, right, full of papers, unorganized, right? You want to start giving them lists to get ready for and adding value to them. And then maybe you want to consider doing a service offer, right? Think about for the month of August, would it benefit you to run a summer special? Now, one of the things I always recommend is knowing who your people are. Now, of course, we are targeting those who still need to get in compliance and get their tax return done, but it always helps to maybe think about who is your audience? Maybe you homeschool your kids. Maybe you have a child with special needs. Maybe you love doing real estate tax returns. Or maybe you're just a rock star with the Schedule A and you like dealing with homeowners and families. Call those people out. And if you decide to do Facebook ads, you want to consider those things along the way. Who do you like to work with? Now, first, my recommendation is that you implement the fast action strategy by putting a very personable post on your personal Facebook page, IG page, just a quick post, right? And call out your people. Hey, did you do an extension? Hey, have you not done your tax return yet? Let them know. I have a few spots open to take on new clients. Maybe you like working with realtors. Then you want to tell them, hey, I have a few spots open to take on new real estate investors. Maybe you have a kid with special needs or you homeschool. And so you are really familiar with all the deductions related to that. So say, hey, I have a few spots open to take on new homeschooling parents, right? I want to help homeschooling parents stay in compliance, and get things in order. Call them out, let them know how you can benefit them, right? They're not interested in what you do. They're interested in how you can help them. So you want to make sure and use language that communicates the benefits that they will receive working for you. And then you want to ask the question, do you still need help? Do you still need to get your 2022 tax return filed? And then you want to close with your call to action, right? Comment below if you still need help. Comment below and let's get this done. Or comment below or click here and click on your scheduling link to your calendar page. The point here is to generate engagement, to do it in a very personal way, and to generate engagement fast, just with a simple post. Okay? Just with a simple post. You'd be surprised at how many people still have not done their taxes and they're looking for a solution. Now, maybe in the month of August, you want to run a special and your people is those homeschool parents. And so you want to run a special and you want to say, hey, I have a few spots open. So I am taking on new homeschooling parents, or I'm taking on new truck drivers. And I want to help them by offering them a discount, right? And so you may want to think about $40 off. Now, is that necessary? Absolutely not. But the intention here is to generate engagement and to generate it fast. And so you may want to give an incentive for them to book, right? And so in your call to action, you may want to include, hey, the book your appointment, book your introduction chat with me during the month of August and get $25 off your tax return, right? You want to have a call of action and you want to provide an incentive for them to respond quickly. Okay. All righty. So if you are a part of our Taxpreneur Tax Boss Academy, you have access to training related to Facebook advertising. And so I don't want to forget that. I just want to drop a note here to make sure you go back into your course, go to module number 4, the Ultimate Tax Pro Marketing for Supreme Marketing Systems. And there is a module on Facebook advertising campaign and social media marketing strategies. So this is an awesome step by step of how to build a Facebook advertising campaign that will send your prospects directly to your messenger. And so definitely take advantage of that. Go back to your course, look for that information. And when you build that, you will see there's ways where the prospect will respond and you will immediately get a message in your direct messenger. And so it's an awesome tool to get quick responses and to be able to provide immediate feedback. Okay. Now, my recommendation is that if you do decide to do Facebook ads, that you focus through about October 5th. Now, why is that? Well, the deadline is around October 15th, right? And so what you want to do is to make sure that you have enough time to still be able to schedule that appointment with them and to do the work before October 15th. So you may want to consider running your ads through that October 5th mark, just so they have time again to still schedule that appointment, get them in, and to be able to get the work done. Now, what are you doing after that first 30 days? After the first 30 days, you're going to continue to execute. You're going to continue to schedule posts on the social media platform, 3 times a week on Facebook, 2 to 3 times a week on Instagram. You want to make sure you're staying on brand. Of course, video is king. So try to integrate at least one video, whether it's pre-recorded or live. Make sure you do that. Because remember, we have a very short window for them to know, to like, and to trust you. And when they see you, they're able to make a connection with you, right? They're able to say, listen, she looks just like my friend Mary. She looks just like my cousin Tanya. Or, man, I like those earrings she's wearing. Or, man, he looks like my uncle, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is they're making a connection with you, and people do business with people they like and who they're connected with. Remember, we're talking about a professional service. We're talking about confidential information. And so you want to help your clients to know, like, and trust you. Okay. Now, if you have a pretty good following on your personal page, you want to incorporate that fast action strategy on your personal page. When you are posting things related to um, tips, and you're highlighting and explaining things in terms of tax code, if you have a business page, my recommendation is to post to your business page and then to share that with your personal page and your groups, okay? So that they are seeing that you are professional, okay? Now, remember, the clients that tend to do extension are typically clients who itemize or have a little bit more complex tax returns. And so you want to present yourself in that professional manner. Alrighty, so now we're looking at August 15th. We're continuing to grind, we're continuing to execute through the month of September as we work up into October. Again, just showing our presence, making ourselves available, and positioning yourself as the solution for them getting their work done. Okay. So once we get into October, we have about 2 weeks to get the work done, to make sure that you're following up with clients that expressed interest. The money is in the follow up. Remember, the people are getting extensions, which means they're not necessarily people in a rush. So you're going to have to push them and be proactive so that you can help them to get organized and you can help them to respond in the way that gives you enough time to get the work done, right? Because you want to provide good customer service and you want to share those wins on your social media page, right? So you meet a new client, you want to share that if they allow you to, right? I enjoyed working with Mary. I'm also excited that I got to work with Bob this tax season and help him to minimize his tax liability. You want to share those wins. And so during the month of October, you're going to be wrapping up some clients. You're going to be taking in those last few appointments, but you'll be focused with your head down trying to get that work done. Okay. Now, why are we doing all of this, guys? Why are we doing all of this? Of course, we all could use some extra money. So I want you to set a goal. Think about how many additional clients you can work on during this next 60-day period. I'm giving you 2 weeks so that you're ready to kick off by August 15th. So from August 15th to October 15th, I want you to set a goal. How many clients do you believe you have time to take on? Right? Set a goal, make it a stretch goal, but make sure you can fulfill the commitment, right? We want to meet expectations, deliver good customer service. And then I want you to put that plan in place to go after it. Now, we're going to shoot for the moon. We may make it. We're going to be amongst the stars. But this is what I know for sure. This will set the foundation for you for the new tax season. We are building know, like, and trust, not just for those who need an extension, but guess what? Everybody else is watching you. They're watching you and they're sitting back and they're going, I don't need an extension. But man, I sure do like Maria. Man, I sure do like Curtis. I like the way he moves. Man, he really knows what he's talking about. Man, he really is offering value. I'm really learning from him. I really see him, right? I like the way I see him presenting himself. Building this brand awareness during this time and with the work that we will be doing in our Taxpreneur Academy during the fall is setting you up and preparing you to have an outstanding tax season come January. So this is not in vain, guys. You are building the foundations and you are starting early. Now, one of the benefits that will come out of the work that you're doing is you're going to be building a list of prospects now. You're not going to be starting at zero in January. You're building that list of prospects now. You're building that foundation and you're building a list of persons that you're able to tap into as you go into the fall and as you go into the season. Think about it. If you bring in an extra 20 people, what's the likelihood that those 20 people will stay with you for the next season? So not only did you make 375, $450, $600 on them to do their extension, but just in a couple months, they're going to turn back around and they're going to come back to you because you did such an awesome job for them. And now you have a new client and you got that new client and you secured that new client before um, Teresa started in January. So starting in January puts you behind the eight ball. You want to start now building your tax practice one person at a time and taking advantage of this 10K challenge to get yourself organized, to rev up, and to make some dollars for those who need extension is a great start. Okay, it's a great start. Now, I want you to remember professionalism over perfection. And I know that is hard, but I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to jump in. I want you to put that very simple fast action post out there and start getting some engagement. And I want you to remember that likes don't equal dollars. Can I get an amen? All right, amen. Likes don't equal dollars. You want engagement and you want to make sure you remember people are watching. People are watching. Maybe they don't need an extension, but they are watching you. And the work that you do now is going to pay off in multiples as you approach the new tax season. All right, so if you are ready to join the end of the summer 10K challenge, there's a button below for you to click. Click that button. It will give you an invitation to our Facebook group. There is no cost to you to join this challenge. This is all about having a community of like-minded tax bosses that is interested in networking, brainstorming on all of the different ways to increase and build their tax practices. So click the button below. Let us know that you're in. Join the Facebook group. Say hello, introduce yourself, and let's have a great kickoff to the next tax season.